Hey guys, it's Tom Bullington with Hastings Happenings. Hope you're doing well today. Wanted to touch base with you, and this is something I've been thinking about doing for a while, and finally just pulled the trigger here and decided let's do this. Because Hastings Happenings has a pretty healthy audience, almost 4,000 people actually are fans of the page. So thank you again. We've been doing this since 2009 in a variety of forms, but 2009 we started a Facebook page. I think in 2008 we did a website that started things out. But basically, for lack of a better term, we've been around for about 12 years. And wanted to get with you on Lewis House. And so, what we're going to do is support a nonprofit every month to give back to the community. And this is something where I'm going to be donating some money, but basically I'm asking the viewers of Hastings Happenings, the people that get something out of Hastings Happenings, that keep coming back for more, um, every day or every week, to look at what events are happening, our profiles of different local businesses, restaurants, things like this, city events, important news updates, things like that. So, what we're doing is supporting local nonprofits. And for the month of February, which, because it's a short month, we're just going to declare that today is February, we are supporting the Lewis House. So, on Facebook, we have this great ability to support um, organizations, people, nonprofits, things like this with the donation tab on there. So, we've done this. I set this up yesterday. We've already raised $125, so thank you very much. We had an anonymous $100 donor to Lewis House just overnight here, so thank you so much, whoever that was. Very much appreciated. I'd like to have $1,000 goal on there. I don't know if we'll make that. Hopefully, we'll exceed that. But so, what I'd like to do is talk a little bit about what Lewis House does for the community. I did a interview here a couple months back now with Vicky Illa, who is the director at Lewis House here in Hastings, and I will link to that actually in this post below, so you can review that video. But essentially, what Lewis House is, it's a group of individuals that are helping primarily women and spouses and children who are victims of domestic and sexual abuse here in Dakota County. And there is a location here in Hastings. So we're primarily going to go to the Hastings um, location and promote this. But it's from 360 Communities, the local nonprofit, and basically they operate two local nonprofit shelters. One is in Egan and one is in here in Hastings. Started in 1979. Basically, they provide victims. I'm just reading from the website. Victims of domestic and sexual violence, safe housing as they recover and build a successful and safe future. And especially this year, this past year, and currently with the COVID pandemic happening, a lot of individuals are just scared to leave and they're scared to go somewhere else and be exposed to COVID. Um, Also, what's happening too, and Vicky was mentioning this to me, is that people who are generally, they get a break from the spouse going off to work. That spouse is now at home all the time and in working from home, so they're not getting a break. They're not getting a way to get away or to at least have a respite from the abusive relationship. The big thing that really, and obviously, spousal abuse is a thing, and this can happen with two men. It can happen in same sex relationships as well. So we don't want to just say it's always the husband and wife situation. There's a variety of relationships here that can be dysfunctional and that people need help from. So the big thing that really, in addition to that, that just gets me in my heart and in my gut is the children. And the children are impacted by this, and they're absolutely um, they're helpless in this situation. So they hear threats, they see violence, They are exposed to a lot of anger. They're exposed to a lot of um, psychological abuse, both to their parent or their significant or their caretaker is abused, and they're witnessing this. So it does deep damage to them, and it also does long-term psychological damage to the child, who then sometimes grows up and repeats the cycle of domestic abuse and domestic violence and alcoholism or drug use or things like this. So there's a lot of impacts to the next generation that's that we just don't really have an appreciation for that, how much this is influencing the children. So um, there's so many things to fix in these situations, and the best situation is to be able to have something like Lewis House, where the individual, the spouse, or the loved one can get away from the abuser and have a place to go, a safe place to go. So there's more information, and we've linked to it in. We have an ad on our website here on Facebook. Um, so go to 360communities.org for more information about Lewis House and everything that 360 does. Um, Obviously, they provide legal advocacy for victims and their families. They attend criminal and civil hearings for victims of domestic abuse and sexual assault. They are trained to assist with orders of protection and harassment restraining orders and victim impact statements, things like this. They have access to legal assistance here in Dakota County. And then also they have support animals. They have dogs that will go with the victims to court and to these hearings that are critical to adding some sort of support or some sort of a loving presence there as these people are going through a trial or some sort of hearing, especially if the abuser is in the same room, sort of thing. So they do have support animals as well. Just so much good stuff is happening with Lewis House, with the outreach services that they provide in all of 360 communities. So I can't really emphasize enough how much I believe in what Lewis House is doing, not only for Hastings, but for the entire South Metro community. So we're trying to promote the Hastings House here, but also in Eagan, and everyone that comes from wherever they are to the Hastings House and to the Eagan House to get the support and the help they need to kind of start their lives over again. So whatever you can give, if it's $1, if it's $5, if it's $100, um, they need it at Lewis House. And I spoke with Vicky Illa yesterday, and she said, yeah, cash is what they need. Enables them to do things, to provide services, to provide um, anything from just clothing to hygiene products to food to things like this to lodging in a case where they need to lodge people off campus because of COVID. It's a particularly hard time right now with COVID going on and people hesitate to try to get help during COVID. And sometimes it can be, this is possibly one of the most anxious and just gut wrenching times right now for people because they feel like they can't escape. And the abuser, a lot of times, is experiencing maybe a loss of a job or a financial insecurity. So, whatever you can do to support Lewis House um, on our um, on our basically our fundraising campaign here on Hastings Happenings, more than appreciate your help. So, if you would like me to promote your organization, your business, if you have an idea for March as far as a local nonprofit that we can support here on Hastings Happenings, please let me know. You can comment below, you can direct message me, or you can call or text me at 651 402 6356. Again, I'm not getting anything out of this other than just hopefully helping someone that is in these predicaments. So um, please give me a call or a text, 651 402 6356. Again, my name's Tom Bullington with Hastings Happenings and InMotion Realty. I hope you have a good weekend, safe weekend, enjoy some of the snow out there, and we will talk soon. Thank you. Bye.